If you're trying to climb the career ladder right now, you probably feel like the bottom rung has snapped off. You are right. Artificial intelligence is rapidly compressing the time it takes to produce output, and execution-heavy tasks that used to be a reliable entry point are being wiped out. Research indicates a 20 to 30% reduction in customer support roles, with clerical and data entry positions projected to drop by as much as 38%. This creates a new career risk known as skill debt. You accumulate skill debt when you overinvest your time and your education in tasks that AI can now execute for pennies. The anxiety recent grads and mid-career professionals feel is justified. The rules of how you create value for a business have shifted. Your ability to execute tasks is out. Your ability to exercise judgment is in. This leaves a lot of people staring at their expensive 4-year degree or their past 5 years of experience, wondering if their foundation is still solid. This chart shows the macroeconomic reality. Disruption now extends across the entire labor market. With 47% of the workforce facing disruption, the timeline for staying relevant has compressed. The risk of stagnation is now a greater threat than the effort to adapt. But your degree is not useless. You just have to reframe it. A 4-year degree is your solid base layer. It provides domain knowledge and proves to an employer that you can see a multi-year commitment through to the end. It builds the foundation. The dilemma you face now is practical. How do you pivot away from automated roles and build on that base layer without throwing away your hard-earned experience and starting from scratch? To make that pivot, you first have to abandon the producer mindset. Historically, your career progressed based on how fast and accurately you could output code, write copy, or build a spreadsheet. That model relied on a concept called local correctness. As a producer, your only responsibility was ensuring your specific, isolated piece of a project worked properly. Here is the trade-off. AI has driven the cost of execution and speed down to near zero. Because a machine can do the heavy lifting instantly, your human volume no longer commands a premium salary. This diagram shows the flaw in the legacy strategy. When your primary inputs are speed, volume, and local correctness, your career trajectory trends downward. You become highly replaceable. If you treat your code, your copy, or your output as the final product, you will eventually be priced out. You cannot out-type or out-produce a large language model. The evolution of the producer is the architect. An architect shifts their focus away from hands-on building. Instead, they supervise AI outputs, spot errors, and constrain system failures before they happen. They operate with cross-boundary awareness. They don't just look at one line of code or one paragraph. They reason about how different systems, teams, and AI-generated outputs interact with each other. This diagram shows the architect's requirements. Prioritizing judgment, prevention, and cross-boundary awareness points your career trajectory up, creating long-term durability. But this pivot demands a trade-off. Architects are paid more to take public responsibility for systemic risks and edge cases. You have to leave the safety of your isolated silo. You are trading the comfort of local correctness for the friction of owning the entire failure surface of a project. Moving to the architect level means you can no longer shrug and say, well, my specific task worked. You are compensated to ensure the entire system succeeds. You do not need to go back to school to make this transition. The fastest, most pragmatic way to stack these architect-level skills onto your base layer is the 90-day sprint. Step 1. Run a brutal gap analysis. Pull 3 job listings for the role you want, list every requirement, and cross-reference them against what you can currently do. The gaps are your curriculum. Step 2. Pick exactly one high-leverage skill from that list, like AI integration or executive communication, and focus on it exclusively for 2 months. Do not course hop. Step 3. Build a tangible public portfolio artifact. Publish a case study, a GitHub repo, or a project breakdown that proves this new capability to recruiters. This is how you build a resilient career. You take the concrete base layer of your degree and you rapidly snap new proficiencies on top of it, cycle after cycle. A theoretical certificate sitting in a drawer means nothing without a public artifact. Executing this 90-day cycle proves you have the exact adaptability that employers are desperate to hire. The 2026 labor market requires a clear transition. You must evolve from a laborer who produces into a supervisor who evaluates. This flowchart illustrates that climb. Start with your base layer degree, acquire AI fluency, develop meta skills, and step into the system architect role. As you climb, the visibility of failures and your burden increase. This is why compensation rises sharply at the top. Coding and writing is pure labor are becoming automated, but using these skills to reason about systems creates a layer of professional leverage that tools cannot easily replicate. If you are a recent grad with 0 to 3 years of experience, stop competing for execution roles. Leverage your tech nativity to become an AI-fluent junior who accelerates the senior team's output. If you are a mid-career professional, focus entirely on durable human skills, like cross-team translation, active relationship development, and complex problem-solving. These skills insulate you from automation. They are the friction points in a business that a language model simply cannot navigate. This graphic shows where AI is altering the career path from entry-level into management. Notice the journeyman phase. This middle tier is squeezed by AI automation. To survive, workers are forced to adopt and manage these tools themselves. Look at your resume right now and plan your first 90-day sprint. Your goal is to bridge the gap between raw machine output and actual business ROI. Employers no longer pay you for the volume of what you produce. They pay a premium for the complex problems you take responsibility for.